So I was like, I should ask a doctor about that.
That's bad, right?
That's
Very.
really bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad. By the time they got the monitor, though, it stopped.
Naturally.
Oh, then you're fine. Don't worry. You're all good.
Yeah.
But I did
Nothing to
spend
worry about.
my...
Wasn't recorded.
What night? I did spend, I don't know which night, but I downed a half bottle of Moscato crying, and then downed the second half the next night. Not crying. But I'm
Okay,
good.
well, maybe there are other issues to worry about. Maybe it's not. We can take a step away from the heart.
That's why it's on the desk.
Welcome to the
Welcome to
episode of Wrinkles in the
everybody.
Crease. That is
Yeah,
just
that's the intro right there. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Wrinkles in the Crease, where we take a look at the stories in hockey and iron out the details. I am your host, Zach Morgan. I have with me, as always, my co-host, the less than real deal, Trevor Neal. I'm not even going to ask if you're okay because the answer is very obviously no. But I'll give you a minute to defend yourself.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Okay, excellent. Trevor has chosen to bypass his minute of self-defense. And with that in mind, I'm going to introduce formally as the official third mic on the podcast. Please welcome Andrew Bolapasta. Andrew, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy to be here. Happy to talk hockey. I'm sorry for whatever you're going through, Trevor. We're here if you need somebody.
Andrew is here if you need somebody.
Zach will put me on Do Not Disturb.
I will answer the phone and hit record. I believe New Jersey is a one-party consent state, unless Trevor wants to state his consent right now into the camera. Trevor, please. Great.
Oh,
He
by the
nodded
way,
and
you were trying to
bully.
deal with your internet problems. Before you called Trevor, he said that New Jersey was, and I quote, a shithole. And I think that's not okay, especially on a New Jersey Devils podcast. I think that's ridiculous.
I would
New
like
Jersey
to once
is
again
simply-
reiterate, we are a hockey podcast, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Jersey is simply the state I sleep in while I'm visiting New York City.
I mean, I don't even
That's
know.
all
That's
you are.
one of the things that it can be.
You're New York's doormat.
No.
Okay, how about the state with the Statue of Liberty?
Long Island exists, Trevor.
Isn't the Statue of Liberty technically New Jersey?
It is.
Yes, it is. It has an address registered in New Jersey.
It belongs to us. We won that in court in like almost 20 years ago, maybe more.
Okay.
You know what, Trevor? What's deeper in what you're saying is really that New York is stealing the lifeblood of New Jersey.
Are you saying that New Jersey's actually... I'm saying in New York while I'm visiting Hoboken? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm telling you right now is the people of New Jersey make that city go. That city doesn't go without the people, without the workforce of New Jersey, the people going in from New Jersey. And also, of course, you can't forget the many, many hockey fans going to and from Madison Square Garden and the Prudential Center because they are right there. It is very easy to get between the two of them.
Are you describing a parasitic relationship between New Jersey and New York?
No, it's symbiotic. It is not parasitic. There's nothing parasitic about New Jersey. Okay? It's a beautiful state. And I think we should move on.
The internet's going to cut out on me any moment now.
I can feel it. I can feel it. Can you see it dropping?
No. I can just feel it creeping up on me.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a podcast that is supposed to be put together in some capacity, and I don't even know where we are anymore.
We are at my segment called the Wrinkles in the Crease logo quiz.
Sure, fuck it, go crazy.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh my god.
This is a WITC logo quiz, all right, by @Lindy Buff. Follow me on all my socials. Wink, wink.
Wait.
So you just I show you a logo and you say what it is, and then at the end we'll go through and we'll see if you're right. All right.
Can I take this one, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the New Jersey Jackals, a minor league baseball team based out of the scenic just outside of Totowa, New Jersey. By, of course, just outside of Totowa, I mean Patterson. They moved out from Montclair there.
So your
Can't
final
wait. It's
answer
gonna
is
be a
the
good time.
Jackals. Final answer is the Jackals. Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I am so sure about that. I've got so much New Jersey Jackals gear around me. If we take a look behind me, we see my lovely Jack Hughes New Jersey Jackals jersey.
That's actually Jordan Hughes.
Jordan Hughes. Yes, I'm
Jordan
sorry. I'm
Hughes
sorry. I get the
Jordan
two
of
mixed
the-
up.
Jordan Hughes Jackals. So your final answer is the Jackals. There's 4 of them. Okay, so the first answer is the Jackals. You good with that?
I'm so good with that. Trevor, do you want
Do
to?
I get it? Do I get a separate answer? Or do I have to go?
Yeah,
with
go
Zach?
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the New Jersey Devils. That's my guess.
That's a good answer. Okay, moving on. It's classic team.
Wow.
What was
Classic
the
team.
answer? Or are you going to give us the answers?
Oh no, it's revealed at the end. It's revealed.
Oh,
at
okay.
the
The
end.
answers are revealed at
Okay.
the end.
Yeah.
So for the audio listeners, what's happening now is Andrew has presented us with some blacked out logos. The first one was pretty obviously a New Jersey Jackals logo, and now we're looking at a different
Obviously.
logo.
I believe that is the New York Rangers. Andrew, that's bold
Yeah?
guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
that does look strangely like the New York Rangers shield. Although I don't know, I see a triangle in there, and I want to say Zelda. I really want to say Zelda.
No.
I really want to get all these wrong.
He's back.
Triangle.
What triangle, Zach?
Do you don't see that? You don't see that in there? There's
At
clearly
the bottom?
no.
You got
From
the
the
triangle.
from the top, the points. Look at all the points. So you got the points at the two.
Okay. I do see it. I do see it. Yeah.
For Zelda.
Zelda. The
No, it's
Zelda.
probably
Zelda.
New York Rangers. It's probably New York
Okay,
Rangers.
I like your
I'll
other
start
answer
taking
better.
this seriously.
So this one's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Obviously,
It's the San Jose Sharks.
Oakland
I'm
Seals.
not going to tell you if you're right, but Zach, do you have any colorful answers?
I'm gonna give you the Oakland Seals for no reason
Not
other than it's
California.
funny to me.
No, I get that. You can see the kind of the S, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see the
Yeah,
S
totally.
right there.
No, that's
You
the
get
San Jose
the
Sharks
right-
logo.
yeah, the
That's
middle.
the San Jose Sharks.
Okay, and this one, it's a very, very easily recognizable logo.
The Detroit Red Wings. Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Little Caesars.
The Little Caesars.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
They
Zach's
play
a
at the
real
Little
fan.
Caesars Arena.
They do.
hey, let's find out if you're right. Okay, so you said
I'm so
New
scared.
Jersey Devils, New York Rangers, San Jose Sharks, and Detroit Red Wings.
Yes.
That's what you said. So the
Yes.
first one was the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Not the
yeah, it was.
Jackals?
I'm
No, I
shocked.
can understand how you would think that. The second one, surprisingly, is the New Jersey Devils. I'm not sure. You're
Go on,
1 for
please.
2. That's okay. The third one, you said San Jose Sharks. Unfortunately, it was the New Jersey Devils. And last but not least, you said Detroit Red Wings. I hate to say this, but you're 1 for 4. It was the New Jersey Devils. Just the alternates. Unfortunate that you only got 1 out of 4, but
I didn't even get the first one right.
yeah, that's true. Trevor's our best with a 1 for 4. I really thought you guys were gonna do better, especially you.
I'm without words.
But so I just wanted to prove that we're not just a New Jersey Devils podcast. But unfortunately,
We might be.
we might. I mean, the only one we were able to get was the New Jersey Devils. So
That is true. That is true. Huh. Wow, that really puts things in a lot of perspective for me. Do we really know a lot about hockey if we're not capable of identifying the New Jersey Devils 4 times in a row?
yeah,
That's true. That's
I didn't want to say it, but you test people and they fail. That's how it works. But
You know what?
Andrew, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Andrew. It's very clear that Trevor and I are extremely out of practice. And as the season's coming up, this is our training camp. We need to get our training camp in before training camp starts. So next
When's
week,
media day? We gotta get ready. Big season coming up.
Hell yeah.
We're training, getting ready.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait for September.
And,
I actually have a football
and
tryout on Sunday.
oh
that-
my god. Oh my god.
Yes, that's real.
Good.
That's real. I'm really doing that. I will be. So I'm trying out for the Rahway Snow Tribe.
Jack, I didn't think you played football.
I don't.
No.
I don't.
You need to bring someone to record you at the tryouts.
Actually, I will be in touch with you because we will need people for that because that's for it. I am trying out for, as many of you know, I may have mentioned once, twice, maybe 4 or 5 times that I work with the A7FL. I'm on the New Jersey production team. As part of what we're doing in terms of creating content for the league moving forward, I volunteered since the team from Rahway, the Snow Tribe, they're having open tryouts. So I volunteered to participate in those tryouts for content. The idea is we are going to mic me up and the whole 9 yards, everything. The only real issue is people on the Snow Tribe. I just finished up my 3rd season with the league. People on the Snow Tribe are starting to recognize me a little bit. There are a few guys who I'm on a first name basis with. So there will be an alteration to my appearance. Nothing crazy, but what is the easiest thing to remove from my face?
beard?
Oh, he's gonna shave?
No way.
No. Oh no, we're going back to the old episodes now.
So
Oh,
even
no.
it's time. I haven't been clean shaven since what?
All season.
Late November, December?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Mhm.
So, yeah. How did we get there? Why did I bring that up?
I said I was
don't-
excited for the new season.
Oh yes, we're
Excited
all
for
excited
Cam.
for the new season of the NHL. But why are you excited for the new season, Andrew?
This is. I hate to keep bringing it back up, genuinely, but the Devils. I mean, I'm a Devils fan, Jersey born and raised. I think I've said this already, but we just made a lot of offseason moves, and I think our window for being a Stanley Cup competitor is just opening. I think our contracts are good. I think our management's good, and I'm just really excited to see what happens.
I'm
Good
in
answer.
complete agreement with you. Look, the fact of the matter is last year the Devils were a lovely surprise. To finish 3rd in the league when no one expected them to do a goddamn thing is nothing short of impressive. But going into those playoffs, did the Devils have a shot at shocking the world? Yeah, they had a shot.
Yeah.
But realistically, this is the first year of their championship window. This is the first year
Yeah.
the window is open. Last year, they
This-
kicked it open. This is the first year it's open all the way through. And it could be open for a very long time. Could be open for
They
a
now
very long
have.
time.
They're starting to actually put in the pieces that a winner would. It's not like the farming assets mindset now. It is put the best possible product on the ice now. The mindset kind of changed at the deadline, I think.
Which is wild, too, because it's not as if the Devils' prospect pool has been depleted entirely. We still have Nemitz in there. Technically speaking, Luke Hughes is still a prospect. He's still going to be a rookie this year.
He's
You've
played
got
like 5 games.
3,
That's it.
5 total, yeah. I think you've
Yeah.
got 3 in the regular season, 2 in the postseason. And even then,
And
the
look at his showings. Look at his showings in those games. I mean, you want to talk about Devils prospects?
He's number 1.
We haven't even talked about Alex Holtz, who the Devils somehow didn't trade to the Sharks. And that's a guy who could... People have cooled off on him since he didn't make the team and come out of the gate screaming last year. But that's a guy where if he gets his feet under him and he finds that spot to shoot from, that's a dangerous power play asset.
Are we going into an NHL season with no idea who the front runner is? Do you have any clue?
Who did we think the front runner was going into last season?
Colorado. Still.
Yeah,
Colorado, Vegas.
I wanted to be Colorado.
It's hard to argue against that. Before then, it was Tampa for a few years. I don't think there's one team that is like dramatically better than the rest. You look at the West Conference, Colorado is going to be a threat. Vegas is going to be a threat. Dallas is with them. Okay, to me, there's no drop off there. Dallas is in that tier. Some people are really high on the Kings. I'm not as much, but they could do some damage. They're set up. In the East, you can't really rely on Boston to fall off that much, though. They have a chance to. The Kings are young. Yes, thank you, Zach. The Kings have some capability to kind of have maybe a Cinderella kind of story. I don't want the Kings in a playoff series. Just to put it that way. For the East Coast, Toronto, still a team to be afraid of. Boston is still a team to be afraid of. Florida is definitely a team to be afraid of. Buffalo and Detroit, sneaky, you don't want to play against them this year. Some people think Pittsburgh, even though no, they are not. We'll get back to that later in the episode. But like the Rangers, good team. Carolina, New Jersey. Carolina, New Jersey. Who is the number one this year? Who's the number two? Who's the number three?
I'm going, much to my chagrin, I'm going Carolina, probably. I mean, I'm looking at the way they played last year, and I'm looking at the quality of their team versus the quality of their team mostly staying the same or getting a little bit better versus the teams that could potentially beat them getting worse and trading away their players. So I think it's I would love to say Devils, but we really got to see how they firstly fit their new pieces into their lineup, see if that gels, because honestly it might take a couple months for it to really start working out. And I don't think Carolina added that much. So I think they're going to have a relatively easy time kind of hitting the ground running.
I have to agree with you there. I don't think the Devils really made much of both teams made additions, but the Devils didn't make enough additions to necessarily close that gap for me between the two teams. Carolina, with how they handled themselves in the playoffs last year, they earned the right to be the number one team going into the season in the Metropolitan Division. Are they the number one team in the East going into the season? That I'm not sure about. I don't think Boston holds that spot anymore. You had Patrice Bergeron retiring last week, and now just a few days ago, David Krejci also announced his retirement. So there are a lot of question marks for the Bruins to answer before I can safely say, like, oh, these guys, they're going to be a top team, but are they the top team? I'm not sure about that.
Tyler Bertuzzi turned them down because there are too many holes to fill.
No, Tyler Bertuzzi turned them down because they weren't able to offer him the right amount of money, because they weren't sure what Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci were going to do.
Oh, apparently there was two reasons he said no to Boston. One was early on, and then it rekindled later, and he said no again for a different reason.
Interesting.
He had problems with the roster he did not like, so he went to Toronto.
I see that. I mean, you want to be on a contending team, and it kind of looks like Boston is on its way out.
You also have to consider that when he was on Detroit last year before the deadline, he was a top line player, right? It's not.
Yes.
He was a top line player in Detroit. He joined Boston and became a bottom six player.
That's crazy.
The roster's filled.
Crazy.
The roster's filled.
Yeah.
Like,
which
even with these
is okay.
Yeah.
Which is okay. It's something that you can stomach if you don't have a first round exit to the last.
Yeah, if they get to the second, third round, Tyler Bertuzzi might be taking a pay cut to stay there. Yeah.
If you're getting bottom six minutes or whatever, and you have a top six and a core that's carrying you to like multiple rounds through the playoffs, I mean, you take that. The highest honor in the NHL is to win the Stanley Cup. So if you get there Phil Kessel style, just riding on other people, then whatever. You get there. But for a team to not even make it past the first round, if you're talented, you're probably going to say, hey, I'm not getting paid enough. I'm not getting enough minutes. I need to be out there.
He's from Ontario as well. That makes a difference.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, he's from Greater Sudbury.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So there's probably a little bit of a...
He's a Leafs fan. He's a Leafs fan.
Yeah, I can understand.
I can't.
But... Yeah, no, at some point, if you're doing what you love and there's a team willing to pay you, what do you value more, I guess, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, there's There's some players this offseason that kind of showed that let me get into the best personal situation on a bad team means more. Taylor Hall, I'm looking at you in Chicago. But, and then
Did
there's
he make
other
that
players.
decision? He was traded there.
Oh, he was no, but he had some say in that trade. I think he probably
Didn't
had some
he?
say in that trade.
Who's the well?
He
No,
went with Nick Foligno.
there was someone else who went over there who re-signed. Corey Perry, right?
Oh, Corey Perry did sign to Chicago, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Connor Bedard makes that a hot spot. But I'm going to throw out my way too early Stanley Cup final prediction.
Oh,
and y'all
yeah.
are going to call me crazy. I think New Jersey loses to Dallas. I think that's your final. And it's gonna be a good one. I want to see those teams go head to head for 7 games.
That would be one of the more underrated Stanley Cup Finals rematches that we could see. And I'm not talking about obviously within the past couple of years, but in the 99-2000 season, those two teams met in the Stanley Cup Finals, and obviously Andrew and I are going to be a little bit biased, but that was one of the defining Stanley Cup moments of my young childhood.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not born.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Zach is about to have an existential crisis that we just caused.
No, I mean, I've watched the highlights, and I was alive.
The 2000 Cup was special.
I'm fucking old. Holy shit.
I don't think that's that crazy of a prediction. But one thing, I don't really get the hype around Dallas. I guess I'm just not really that. First of all, I want to address the last episode where I said how far out were the Wild from the playoffs, and then you both were like, "Oh, the Wild made the playoffs."
They made the playoffs.
Yeah, I just don't pay attention to the Western Conference that much until it's time for
the season to be ready.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see, like, from my limited view of what I look at in the Western Conference, I'm going, okay, you have the Knights, you have the Stars, and that's basically everything that comes to mind. I mean, I guess the Jets, if they have Hellebuck, but
the Jets have fallen off. It's really Colorado. It's a 3-horse race, the West. It's Colorado, Vegas, and Dallas. Seattle kind of, I think, might prove themselves to make that jump, but I think they're still a year or two away.
Seattle's a
Minnesota.
team I think Seattle's a team I think will make the playoffs, and if they make the playoffs, they've proved that they can go on a run. So I would put them in that next tier in the Western Conference, just based on what we saw last year. Winnipeg, I don't think they're going to finish outside of the bottom 5.
Duh, Winnipeg's gonna be shit.
They're cooked.
They're not good.
In the bottom 5 in the conference.
The conference, pick one. Doesn't matter. Either or.
They're bad.
It's not going to be good. They're going through a full dismantle. There's no way in hell Connor Hellebuck is playing another minute for that team. There just isn't.
No.
It's this.
No. And
excuse me.
Look, another season of Rupe Hintz developing. He's still young. We forget that. He's still very much in his prime.
Was he No, he wasn't 2017 first round. He was 2018 or 2019, right?
Hold it up. And then you also got Jason Robertson.
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask you about that. People are like, I go on Twitter to look at hockey stuff, and people are crazy about him.
Jason Robertson's a very special talent.
Why?
Will be a 50-goal scorer.
He's
what he touches goes in the net.
The proof is in the pudding. Watch how he plays the game. He's got it figured out. He's a very, very smart player, and he's got all the skill in the world to do it. I don't know how this guy slipped to the second round. That's going to look very, very bad on the league for years to come, because
how he fell into the second round and was the Stars' 3rd draft pick in that draft.
Stop.
Do we forget about that? Do you know who the other 2 are? Andrew, I love this if you don't remember.
What year was it?
17.
Jake Ottinger and Miro Heiskanen.
Yeah, those are 3 draft picks in a single draft. That's a core. I know I talk about the Stars a lot, but I'm so high on that team. You got Wyatt Johnson developing for another year, Ty Dellandrea developing for another year. Logan Stankoven is most definitely making that team out of camp Joe Pavelski is drinking from the fountain of youth. Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin have had a resurgence, and now they added Matt Duchene.
We're
They're
looking at
good.
we're seriously looking at 4 of those top 5 picks being out in the 2017 draft, being out of the world top, like just absolute slam dunk victories. In Nico Hischier, Miro Heiskanen, Cale Makar, and Elias Pettersson. Those are franchise defining players, and
Shout out Cale Makar on the cover of NHL 24, by the way.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
Very cool.
Cale
Proving
Makar,
that
but
short kings can do it too.
Cale Makar and Miro Heiskanen are the same tier of defensemen, and nothing will change my mind.
Each team Dallas made
Each
the right
team-
pick by taking Heiskanen, and Makar. I don't think Makar would have had the same success that he had in Dallas that he did in Colorado.
No, it's perfect.
Is that to say that Cale would not be the same player? No. Cale Makar is still going to be a superstar no matter where he ended up. But Colorado was the perfect situation for him, and what we saw in the last year proved that. It wasn't his 21-22 season was one of the best seasons of a young defenseman we have seen in the history of this league.
That was his Norris year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won the Norris, he won the Stanley Cup, he won the Conn Smythe.
Crazy. Like, just, and what, he's younger, he was like 21, maybe?
He's 24 now. So he was 22 years old. He was 22 years old when no, I'm sorry. 23. What am I?
23. So a 23-year-old defenseman's position that develops later. For him to do that is just... It's 2017. I might have to do more, like a bigger piece on the 2017 draft.
You should.
Just how crazy it is. And I love the drop-off from 5 to 6 when it goes to Pettersson to Cody Glass.
Cody Glass, then Elias Anderson, who... Is he even still in the league?
No.
He's under contract in North America. He is under contract
with
in
the
North
Canadians.
America. Yes, 1-year, 2-way deal.
Yep.
So
barely international player.
He's in a system, which is more than some players can say. And I just hope that Nolan Patrick can play hockey. Period. I hope he can live normally because
I hope he can play hockey with his kids. That's all I care about.
I feel so bad for that guy and how things have shaken up and just worked out for him. It's not the first time we've talked about Nolan Patrick on this show, but man, he could have been something so special if he didn't have 5 back surgeries before his draft year.
Yeah, that should have raised some red flags.
It did.
Than it did.
It did. That's why he didn't get picked number 1 overall.
He still went 2. Crazy.
I mean, both of those teams lucked into those picks, being the Devils and Flyers in 2017. The Devils were the 4th. The Devils, I think, were slotted to get the 4th overall pick that year and somehow won the draft lottery because it was their first draft lottery with Taylor Hall. And then you had the Flyers, who I think were like 1 game out of the playoffs that year. And that was a very lucky lottery win in their part. So it was so in the Flyers case, they felt like they were playing with house money, and unfortunately they lost. But you gotta hope for the best for him. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. So,
but does that lead us to the other Pennsylvania team?
It does lead us to the other Pennsylvania team. We talked a little bit about people thinking that the Penguins were going to be the team to beat after they made a big acquisition last Sunday. We heard about it for a while. Erik Karlsson is now a Pittsburgh Penguin by way of a 3-team deal. The Penguins got Erik Karlsson, Dylan
Hamelic.
Yes, and a 2026 third-round pick from San Jose, and they also get Rem Pitlick from Montreal. Pittsburgh will retain $1.5 million on Jeff Petry's contract, who is going towards Montreal, and the Montreal Canadiens also received, where am I seeing this? Excuse me.
A 2025 second-round pick, Jeff Petry with the $1.5 million retained, Casey DeSmith and Nathan Leger, all from Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Trevor.
Wow.
And to tie up the deal, the Sharks, who had Erik Karlsson, their haul in return for that is a 2024 first-round pick, Michael Granlund, and Jan Ruta from Pittsburgh, They also get Mike Hoffman from Montreal, who will join the team for his second time of his career.
Yeah,
And
the first time went so well.
the first time went really well. The first time went so well that his stint in San Jose is already like 4 times as long as it ever was in San Jose the first time. He's doing amazing work. God bless.
Yeah, he hasn't pissed anybody off yet. We'll get back to that.
The Sharks are also retaining $1.5 million on Erik Karlsson's deal. So the money that Pittsburgh was saving on the Erik Karlsson deal, they immediately
It's a
spent by
wash.
retaining on Jeff Petry's deal. That is a complete and total wash.
Who,
And there
while
is
we're
another-
on, Petrie was just dealt
Yes.
as well. Just
There-
touch on that real quick because it's not much of a story.
It's yeah, go for it.
It's shipped to Detroit for Gustav Lindstrom and a 2025 pick.
4th round. pick.
Montreal. It's
Sorry,
a fourth.
It's
Okay.
a 4th. I didn't write that down.
Yeah, Montreal retained half the salary on that. His dad was a Tiger in Major League
World
Baseball.
Series champion.
Yeah, and part of
1984
the
World
is that
Series
the
champion.
Yeah, I saw that. That was wild.
Yep.
is he on the broadcast team for the Wings or the Tigers?
Tigers. He's on the broadcast
That's
team.
cool.
He's on the broadcast
That's
team for the
cool.
Tigers. Jeff Petry's going to wear number 46. His dad wore number 46 with the Tigers.
Right.
It's one of the better stories just in terms of lighthearted, happy things.
It might be the biggest victory out of the Erik Karlsson trade.
Yeah. No, that's probably true. I mean,
I haven't even completely ripped the Penguins apart yet, and you're doing it for me. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Though, okay. This is what's about to happen. Zach is going to rip the Penguins apart because this doesn't solve
I'm Zach.
any of the Penguins' issues, right, Zach?
No,
What does it
does
do?
not.
It doesn't get you closer to anything.
No, what they did was they took $6.25 million in Jeff Petry, and they turned that into losing a few pieces. And you've now got Erik Karlsson teamed up with Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, which we were just talking about the 2017 draft. So why not have the best move of the 2017 offseason? Let's go. I'm so sorry, Ottawa Senators fans, that you have to watch this. But
Why? And before you say it one more time and I slap you across the country, it's Jeff Petry. Please don't say Petry.
Jeff Petry. I don't know why I'm
Jeff Petry.
I don't know
Yes.
why I'm doing that.
Here is my defense to that. And Andrew, feel free to agree with either of us. Pittsburgh is a National Hockey League team that has Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Chris Letang. 3 players who are talented enough to wake up tomorrow and go, all right, I would like a 4th Stanley Cup, please, and win. I'll die on that hill. Sidney Crosby is good enough to do that. Okay? It's going to take luck, but he has the ability to do that. Giving him Erik Karlsson makes it a little bit easier. This is a little gift for Sidney Crosby. I really think that's what this is. You up with Erik Karlsson? Does that sound fun? We tried to do this bit before, and I mentioned that this is 100% what Kyle Dubas pitched at the Penguins practice center with Sidney Crosby. He's like, you know what? I'm going to get you, Sid. If you tell him to hire me, I'll get you Erik Karlsson.
And God damn it, he did it.
He did. He can and he will.
that
You know what?
son of a
That's
bitch, he did it.
Is there anything in this world there's 2 things in this world Kyle Dubas loves. Sioux Greyhounds and $11 million contracts.
And also not signing players to the maximum amount of term.
He's weird. Kyle Dubas signs weird deals.
This trade also
Not
came
bad ones, just weird ones.
This trade also came days after Kyle Dubas announced that he was going to not only be the GM but also the president. So Kyle Dubas announced that he would
Other
be
way
his own
around.
boss. Oh,
Other way around. He was
Oh,
the
I'm sorry.
president announcing he was going to be the GM, which
Jesus
he
Christ.
did the press conference is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Of just him going, "Yep, I named a GM. Guess who it is? Me."
That,
And he
that's
just
cool.
left.
after conducting a search with my team, I've concluded that we found the best candidate for the job. Me.
Me. And then he turned and he left the podium. That is 100% what happened.
No, turned left the podium and then came back. Because President Kyle Dubas had to leave, but GM Kyle Dubas had to go do the
Now
press
I'd like to
conference.
welcome GM Kyle Dubas. He does a
It's
spin.
2 personas. It's 2 personas.
Yeah.
2 jobs.
And,
2
but when
personas.
he spins, Kyle Dubas or Jason Spezza magically appears next to him because that's how Kyle Dubas works now. Can't see him. President Kyle Dubas can go without Jason Spezza.
I would like
GM
it if
Kyle Dubas.
I would like it if he just had a little hat that said president, and when he switched it around, it said GM.
No, wait.
It's like a baseball hat with 2 brims on it. And he just flips it around.
That's beautiful. Hold on. Have you got? This is such a. Did any of you guys go to summer camp at any point in time?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to
Color
summer
War.
camp. Actually, I went to hockey camp. I went to Can-Am.
Okay. Maybe you won't be Color War. Whatever the colors are, blue and gold games for one of the camps I did because
Oh, you're talking like
I'm talking
stereotypical.
I'm talking stereotypical, like, end
Sleepaway
of camp,
camps.
sleepaway camp,
Yeah.
end of camp activity. Yeah. There was a camp I went to, and the director of the camp at the end of each day, or as the day would go on during Color War, or at this camp after a certain amount of time, they changed it from Color War to blue and gold games. He would have a hat where on one side it was a yellow, full on hat,
Mhm.
and the back was blue. The other side was blue, and they both had that. So whoever was winning at the end of the day, it was a whole thing because you would gather the camp around, and then he would take the hat off, and the team that was in the lead, that would be the color in front. That is the hat I want for Kyle Dubas when he is
Dubas to do this.
when he's making announcements as president. The president's in the front, the GM is in the back. When he needs to switch really quickly on the spot, same podium, can't leave. Like GM Kyle Dubas has to make a comment right after that. Bam, Andrew Scott, flip that hat around. It's perfect. It's beautiful.
I'm so excited for him to fire Mike Sullivan come Christmas, and he's gonna do a press conference. He's gonna go, "Fuck it, I'm the coach."
He's not Lou Lamoriello. He only worked under Lou Lamoriello. He's not Lou. He can't do that.
No, Lou
only
trained
Lou gets
him.
to do that.
Lou trained him. Kyle is the Pittsburgh Penguin.
Those were great Devils. Anytime the Devils had a season where Lou Lamoriello looked at the coach and said no, and then immediately upon realizing, oh, I just fired the coach and I don't have a replacement lined up, I guess I'm coaching the team now. That has happened multiple times in Devils history.
Lou Lamoriello's not real.
Beauty.
Eric Carlson's a Penguin.
Eric Carlson is a Penguin.
Eric Carlson is a Penguin. And we've spent a lot of time talking about the Eric Carlson trade, and me and Zach have clearly got into some heated arguments over what this does for the Penguins.
But we haven't done that now or here.
We haven't done that now on the show. And that's what really matters, because we want attention through content. Yep. What it does is the Penguins are talented enough, like I said a little bit before, that they just need luck. Like, they have the talent to wake up and win a playoff series. They have the talent to wake up and win 4 playoff series in a row. What adding Eric Carlson does is just giving you another player that could wake up and do that. Okay, plus if Chris Letang goes down, you still have a power play quarterback. Because I'm sorry, Chris Letang is not guaranteed to be the quarterback on power play 1 this year. That's not a guarantee with the way Eric Carlson played last year.
I mean, just taking everything aside, with all due respect to Chris Letang and his health situation, that's not something that you should go into a season being able to say, okay, I can rely on Chris Letang for 82 games. That time is long past, and it's nothing against Letang. It's just what he is.
Is it sad to see that Chris Letang is not the Penguins' #1 defenseman? I don't think he is.
It's sad to see it.
Crazy.
He's not killing himself. He has someone there to take the weight off his back, man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sad to see.
Doesn't make him any less of a player.
But it had to happen. The man is coming off his second stroke. You have to take the load off of him. You have to.
I'm tapping out of 1. One stroke.
I'm not doing athletic things ever again.
Dude, if my doctor even said if you step on the ice, you will 50% chance have a stroke, I'm not getting on the ice. I'm not waiting till the second stroke.
Loves the Penguins. Is there a group of 3 people who love the Penguins more than that core?
No way.
Are any of the 3 of them leaving now? Oh, Mario. Mario just decided, all right, I'm not going to get paid, and I guess I'm going to take on the financial burden of owning a failing NHL team because I love them so much.
You
That
can
is
make
what
an
he
argument
did.
Literally.
that Chris Letang is literally willing to die for the
The
Penguins.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
I mean,
Okay.
Not to just sound like a human soundboard, but literally, yes.
literally.
He is the amount of sacrifice that man has done. I'm so glad he won that Masterton Award. He
It couldn't have been
deserved it.
anyone else. He wasn't even gone a month after his second stroke. Second. 2 again. I'm still not over this. That was you can't
Life-altering events that he has
yes.
just decided, I am still an NHL player. This is not going away.
No. And
God bless him.
God
Look,
bless
there
him.
has to be a statue of those three at some point, right? They're getting a statue outside the arena. Those three. They have
Hell
to.
yeah, dude. Absolutely.
You guys even think Malkin, really?
Well, I think
all three of them. It's going to be one statue, I think.
Oh, okay.
At the very least, Crosby. Crosby
think-
for
No,
sure.
they're all three of them are going to get a statue, and then Crosby's going to get his own on at another plaza.
No. Crosby and Lemieux are going to have one together, and it's going to be from Lemieux's last season and Crosby's first season as a passing of the torch.
Oh yes, with the old jerseys with the weird triangles on the side. Yeah.
The only thing where I would kind of the reason I would want Crosby to get his own statue is just because I feel like he didn't just do something for the Penguins. He did something for the game of hockey.
The
way he played. When you
changed
see
the sport.
Highlights of Crosby on the ice, it's electrifying. I
mean,
it's like a movie.
The post-lockout NHL is created by Sidney Crosby.
Yes, exactly.
It is his game.
Exactly.
It was tailored for his game.
We talk a lot about how the NHL failed to really bounce back from the lockout. Imagine the NHL trying to bounce back without having Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin, for that matter. If you don't have those two players, you can make the argument that the league is going off of. Forget the fact that we were on NBC Sports Network. Versus would have stayed Versus. It would not have been bought by NBC. It would have been its own thing, and the NHL would have become its own. We would have still been on the
Outdoor Life Network if it wasn't for Sidney Crosby. What other active players are guaranteed a statue when they retire? Are there more? I think Kane and Taves do. Yeah, active. Let's go out. Or recently retired.
I don't think they do anymore. I think they might have.
With the tainted.
Yeah, I don't think they do anymore.
That's fair. Ovechkin gets one outside of Capital One.
Oh yeah, Ovechkin. Ovi's the answer. Why am I thinking so hard about this? It's Ovi.
I think Pittsburgh might end up doing like a Legends row because Mario has a statue outside of PPG right now, which is gorgeous. I think they might all get one. The core there right now.
And I want to try and defend myself here. I'm not trying to say that Evgeny Malkin doesn't deserve a statue. I think he does. I think he deserved to be in the NHL's top 100. It bothers me
that he wasn't.
It's complete and total BS that he wasn't. What he did in 2011, 2012, where Crosby's out for concussions, Malkin had to step up and be the best player in the world. And do you know what he did that year?
He was the best player in the world.
He was the best player in the world, and it wasn't even close.
Not statistically. Evgeny Malkin was the most talented hockey player in the world when Crosby was gone. And he just went superhuman.
The stats may back that up to a point, honestly.
It does. Like when the other one is hurt, the other one always does that. That's what has made Pittsburgh's dynasty last as long as it has. Right, and they might not have been winning cups throughout that entire dynasty. They went a long period of 7 years not winning one during that. But did you want Pittsburgh in a playoff series like 2012, 2013? Hell no.
Nope. And to go back to that point, just to tie everything up with a nice little bow, even though Kyle Dubas has given Pittsburgh and Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang the gift of Erik Karlsson, I want to be clear here. This move by itself does not make the Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup champions. It doesn't even Stanley Cup contenders. It doesn't even make them contenders, in my opinion, to take away one of the top 3 spots in the Metropolitan Division. Period. End of story. You have to remember.
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
They're not a lock for anything.
We have Carolina, New Jersey, and New York all coming off of 100+ point seasons. Pittsburgh missed the playoffs by what? 1-2 points?
A point. Yeah.
A
or two.
point.
They would have
So-
made the playoffs if they beat Chicago in the last week of the season. That's what it came down to.
I don't see this move moving Pittsburgh. It improves Pittsburgh as a team from last year, yes. I don't see it being enough of an improvement in the same way where the Devils made additions, but they still didn't do enough to take over the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't think the Penguins did enough to move themselves into one of the top 3 spots in the Metro. I think the best case
it doesn't move the needle.
Wild card spot.
It's just not enough.
What happens if we're 2-3 months into the season, though, and Erik Karlsson's on pace for 100 again?
On pace for what?
100 points again.
Then we give him the Norris again.
What do you mean? What happens?
That's it.
Like, do we go, okay, this worked perfectly?
I mean, I'm expecting Karlsson to go there and have a great season.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Erik Karlsson had 100 points last year, and the Sharks didn't win a thing. That is not what will win you games. Erik Karlsson scoring points doesn't win you games. We've seen that. It's been proven.
That's really true. That's a great point.
The fact of the matter is, if Erik Karlsson's scoring points and the Penguins are losing, the Penguins are losing. That's the story.
What do the Penguins need to wake up tomorrow and do then?
Get 25 years younger on all of their players.
Fountain of youth.
I'm not going to say the fountain of youth is what they need, but they need to figure out a way to round out that roster and finish building. You got Erik Karlsson. The job is not done. The job is not even close to done.
But I feel like that's the main problem. They think they've gone into this Karlsson trade with the attitude, we get Karlsson, the job is done. And now everyone's saying like, oh, they got Karlsson. This is crazy.
Kyle Dubas should know better than that. He should.
I think Kyle Dubas knows. Kyle Dubas is very smart. But I don't think the holes that they have to fill are that difficult to fill, though. I think you can get young, hungry players on cheap deals. Because, okay, here's another thing about Pittsburgh. Winning is woven into the DNA in that locker room. You walk in, you're a winner. That's the way they carry themselves every single game. Okay? They were bad last year. They're still winners, man. Like, Crosby is your captain. Not winning is not acceptable. Plus, you're going to have pissed off Crosby next year. His playoff streak's over. He's not letting that happen again until his body tells him no.
Yeah.
I think they're a playoff team. Do I think they win the cup? No.
You got a guy in the locker. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You got a guy in the locker room who is playing after his second stroke. The work ethic there has got to be insane.
It's crazy.
Like you're tired. Okay, how many
holes in your
heart?
Imagine
you're tired. How many holes are in your heart, buddy?
0. Get back to work.
Oh my God!
You have a headache? I've had 4 chronic concussions.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on. You're sitting in a locker room with those people. You gotta work. You're working your ass off.
Oh, you got a little sprained ankle? That's rough, buddy. Better tape it up and get out there.
Yeah.
Your knee's sore. I tore my ACL, MCL, CDL. Like, it was all torn.
You see Jimmy in the corner there? He hasn't had an ACL in 10 years. Get out there, young buck.
If Chris Letang woke up tomorrow and had one leg, he would be on the ice hopping.
Yes.
He would duct tape a stick to the stump of his leg and score 50 points.
We would see the first NHL player with a prosthetic limb playing in the NHL, and it wouldn't even be something that you could notice until someone pointed it out, and then they would be like, "Oh yeah, that leg isn't really moving as much as the other one."
Oh my God! I mean, he's just slightly slower than he was before.
You know what I will say? The only thing that I will say about this trade is that if it were any other team where you're telling me they get Karlsson, is it enough to want it? I'm saying no. But I think Trevor is right in that specifically with Pittsburgh, it feels like something is different, that they can will it to happen.
Crazy.
Like if they want it hard enough, it'll happen.
Pittsburgh is the weirdest team in the league. Consistently. Some kid from the AHL might score 40 for Pittsburgh next year on a $700,000 contract. It might happen. Do I know who it is? No. They might not be a real person. It might just be a stunt double.
Will it
I
be
don't know.
Kyle Dubas in a mustache?
It
Yeah.
might be. He now has 4 sides to his hat. He's got coach,
No,
GM,
Kyle
president,
Dubas
and
getting onto
player.
the ice and just turning his hat 90 degrees to the left.
And it just says first line left wing, and he just claps a shit bomb from 35 feet out,
Absolutely.
far down.
I mean,
They're not a Stanley Cup contender, but they could potentially beat every single team in the league in a 7-game series. It's Sidney Crosby at the end of the day. This is the best player of this century. Okay,
the thing about Crosby is he will find a way. It doesn't matter if you have a brick wall of a goalie; he'll find a way to beat him.
He will literally
give
be
him a
standing
chance.
behind the net with the puck, and all of a sudden it's in the net. He does that on a frequent basis.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was watching some highlights of him yesterday where he is just absolutely decimating. I think it was like the Rangers. He skates through 5 different people and then he dives to get a pass.
What year was that highlight from? Just curious.
I think it was from 2017.
It could be any year. He does that every single year. Do you remember his overtime goal against the Devils? That one should be haunted in your brain. He comes down the ice, rips it off the post, it bounces back at him in midair, and he baseball swings it into the net in one fluid motion.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't recall.
I lost you. You were saying that highlight was from 2016?
I thought it was from 2017, but I've been looking at. I just watched like a whole 30-minute video of Crosby highlights. So
I just want to
watch.
It wouldn't shock me if it turns out that the highlight you're talking about was from, I'm gonna say, mid to late 2000s. Quite frankly, the concussions that Crosby sustained in 2011, 2012, they robbed us of what could have been, because the Crosby from before those concussions and the Crosby after were 2 very different players.
Can I work as someone who grew up watching the Penguins? Can I explain the difference?
Please.
Pre-concussion Crosby was flashy. Post-concussions Crosby did everything better than you. That's the best way to put it. Crosby may not be doing something that is highlight reel every single shift, but by God, is he making you feel stupid every time he's on the ice. I don't want to go him against a corner. On a rush, he's lethal because he's just smarter than you. He out-hockeys you at every opportunity. Young Crosby was just flashy phenom, right? And I think his style of play matured, and he found ways to, my body is aging. My body's deteriorating and aging. Let me find ways to combat that. After his rookie year is one of the worst centers in the league at faceoffs. He comes back the next year and has been top 5 since. Okay, he adapts. Okay, if they change the rule book tomorrow, Crosby is still going to be the best player in the league.
Do you think that when his time comes, do you think he's going to go gracefully, or he's going to play until he is averaging, 10 goals?
Crosby says.
I don't think we will get to a point where Sidney Crosby is still playing and he's barely getting 20. I don't think there will be a season we see Sidney Crosby net under 50 points. I don't think that will happen.
I even think his body is a 20 to 30 point player, but he's still scoring 50, 60. His skill is there. He's never not going to be on a power play. His ability to deflect a puck in, his backhand ability, his just in tight ability to the net will not age.
If there was a Harlem Globetrotters of the NHL or of hockey, he would absolutely be on the Harlem Globetrotters of hockey.
Some of the stuff he can do. That Devils goal. It was back-to-back games in a week because I watched both of them and burst out laughing on both times he scored. He had I'm going to come from the corner in the offensive zone against Montreal in overtime, juggling the puck. Or it wasn't in overtime, but he was juggling the puck from the corner with defenders on him and batted in. And the next game, he rips it off the post and bats it in midair. It's just what he does. He thinks the way of the sport. I'm so glad we're getting time to just talk about how good Crosby is. I know it's a bit of a tangent, but he thinks hockey in a dimension that other people don't.
Yeah, really.
It's crazy. I love watching Sid. I've been fortunate enough to watch him play in person several times. I've heard entire sections of fans go, "Oh no," when he touches the puck.
They should. The
Yes.
game operates slower for him. He sees the game at a much slower speed than the rest of us are seeing it at. He knows when things are going to happen a solid 30 seconds before they actually
Yes.
happen. His IQ is
And
currently unmatched in the NHL.
the first time I saw him play in Dallas, because I've seen him play out here twice, he was in the corner. Penguins were down by 1 with a minute left, and he got the puck. And I just heard the dude behind me go, "Oh no, don't let him have the puck." And I don't think a single person in that arena breathed until the buzzer went off.
I mean, he has that effect.
God, I love Sid. I love Sid so much. And he's one of the nicest, most genuine people in the league, too. You're one of the best captains.
Yeah,
Zach,
I was
get me to
talking
shut
to
up
him
about
the
Sidney
other day.
Crosby.
Happily. Right.
Dumba?
Dumba?
Matt Dumba. Matt
Dumba?
Dumba.
Matt
yes.
Dumba.
Matt Dumba.
Matt
How many
Dumba.
times are we going to do this?
Matt
Oh my
Dumba.
God. Matt Dumba signed a 1 year, $3.9 million deal with the Arizona Coyotes. He was projected by many to be the best remaining free agent on the market. Arizona has snatched him up. Arizona making a whole bunch of moves, including signing Logan Cooley to an entry-level deal, which
Yep.
shocking. But
I
The
love it.
juggernaut in the desert, the Arizona
do
Coyotes.
players want to go to Arizona State University to play hockey? Is
Look,
that what
I
this is
think
about?
they visited once and went, "Holy shit, this might be cool." that may have happened.
My prediction for next season: Coyotes sneak in the last wild card spot, the
And losing
playoffs,
5.
and take it all the way to the cup.
Oh my god.
Take it all the way to the cup. Okay.
Are
You
we
can quote me.
talking Matt Dumba versus Erik Karlsson in the Stanley Cup final?
Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah.
Zach is
There are a lot of
contemplating-
things. There are a lot of things wrong with the words that were just said. But I truly imagine the hilarity of the NHL and the Arizona Coyotes scrambling before the playoffs because the Arizona Coyotes have clinched a playoff spot in February. And they have 2 months to figure this out. And they know how bad it would look for the 5,000 seat, what is it?
Mullet Arena.
Mullet Arena. The 5,000 seat Mullet Arena. They can't host a playoff game there. That can't happen, right? Right? There's no way. There's no way the Stanley
Look,
Cup Finals are played
would love
in
it.
an arena that seats less than 10,000 people.
Who at the Arizona Coyotes offices has to call Gary Bettman and go, "So we have to host playoff games. Was not anticipated. We do not have enough seats in our press box to hold the camera equipment.
That rule. I mean,
There's just not enough space."
It's a realistic problem.
Oh shit, you have to do a Canadian feed? Fuck. We don't have enough there's only one outlet for the camera. What do we do?
I didn't even think about that.
Trevor, these are problems I've dealt with. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Wrinkles in the Crease. From Zach, I am Zach, from Trevor and Lindy Buff, aka Andrew Bola Pasta. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We will see you next time and enjoy the rest of
Have a good one, everybody.